When we ask chefs and restaurant owners to come into the 207 kitchen here at our main studios, we have to tell them a lot of the time, keep the recipe simple. We want to make food that real people make at home. With us today, Noah Talmatch from Timber, a steakhouse in Portland, with what you say is a really nice, simple seafood recipe.
This is so easy. It's unbelievable. It's minutes for anybody who wants to make something delicious and that looks delicious.
All right, what is it we're making?
We're going to be making salmon glazed with bourbon brown sugar. It's delicious, it's easy to make, and we use couscous as well. The first and most important thing is cut up your salmon. For those of you at home, you can see the recipe and the sizes. We're just downsizing today.
Okay.
So you have your salmon, and get a nice fresh piece of salmon, and make sure that there's no bones, that they already took them out.
Yes.
You can put the salmon in milk for 20 minutes prior. And a lot of people don't know that. I bet you don't know that.
I've never heard of that. What does it do?
When you put fish into milk, for some reason, it takes away a lot of the fishy smell, and it makes it taste better. It keeps it more moist. Don't know why. It's probably the enzyme in the milk, but it does work. So for those of you that don't like really fishy fish, even salmon, which is not really that fishy, but it's oily, it helps.
Okay.
So you put it in the milk first. You let it sit for 20 minutes, and then you begin.
Okay.
You got a pan, and you've got some olive oil in there, nice and hot. You're going to put it in with the skin side down, just like that, and you'll start to hear it sizzle. Very important. You sprinkle a little salt on there. You can take a little bit of lemon juice on the top, just like that, to make a little steam, and then you're going to cover it like this.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't understand, when you cook fish, never cook the fish all the way through. You cook it on the burner, or you cook it in the oven, cook it 3/4 way, cover it, and then let the steam continue
Do the rest.
to do the rest. And you know why? Because then that fish is going to be super moist, soft, flaky, delicious.
That's how you avoid a dry, tougher fish.
Correct. Correct. And you can do that with any fish.
Good to
so
know.
while that's cooking, basically, to make the sauce for this, the glaze for this, which is really easy, it's going to end up looking like this, and it's quite strong because it has bourbon in it.
Okay.
Now, you can also take a shot of the bourbon if you wanted to.
Well, that's optional.
But Rob already did prior to taping. So, so you take brown sugar, you take your bourbon into a pan,
Right.
and just those two ingredients on their own. A little bit of olive oil, just a touch.
Okay.
And you start to whisk it under a low flame.
Yeah.
That's going to be caramelization, which they talk about a lot with foods.
Sure.
Brown sugar turns into, or sugar does when you burn it, turns into caramel. Caramelization is basically taking the sugars that are in whatever you're cooking, fruits, vegetables, turns it into sugar, and it gives it a nice browning on the outside. So that's going to end up making this delicious glaze.
Okay.
And then you're going to make couscous. And a lot of people, they see couscous in the supermarket. They're the tiny little ones in the box.
Yes.
These are Israeli couscous, and if you can see, they're a larger grain. It's basically pasta in a little ball shape.
Right.
This is probably the easiest thing of all to make. You're going to boil some water, throw the couscous in, let it boil for 2 minutes, take it aside, let it sit. You don't have to do anything.
So even I could do that?
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe,
Let's not
maybe.
get carried away here.
Let's start simple. So the couscous will pop up nice, and it'll have a nicer texture than the smaller stuff, and it will hold up to the fish. And if you look at the fish, see how nice that's cooking?
That's looking good, Strange.
That's looking great. So right about another minute or so,
Okay.
I would take it off the fire and just leave it like that.
Off the burner.
And it's going to continue. Then you take your couscous, you drain the water. Take your couscous, you're going to plate it like so. Look at that. Doesn't that look lovely? Easy. And you would take your glaze at the end and just pour the glaze right over like that. Voila.
And that
Could you do that?
is all there is to it. You know, actually, wise guy, I think I could.
I think you could too.
If you want to find out if you can do it, you need to go check out the recipe. It's on our website. Go to newscentermaine.com, the 207 section. That's where you're going to find the recipe for Noah Talmatch's glazed salmon with couscous, and more information as well on Timber in Portland. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much, Rob. Always a pleasure.
Stay with us. We're going to be back with more in just a moment.